Nice big belly. It even has a scar on its back. Makes me wonder if a bird tried to get him at one point. But alright, we have to do it now. So we've named every fish in this pond, and we're going to need a name for this one. I'm excited because it is the very first fish that's ever hatched in one of our backyard ponds. So I need you guys to leave me a female bass name down in the comment section below. She's even as big as the bluegill now. Alright, something else that got me really excited is I was out here on the dock, and when I looked down, I saw thousands of newly hatched threadfin shad. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, we don't want to just have those 10,000 shad that we added to the pond. It's important that we have that shad spawn, and even more important that we have that plankton bloom. And literally everywhere I look around this dock, there are thousands of tiny threadfin shad. And you can even see they're up there feeding on that plankton right there at the surface. And I think we may be getting close to finally having a self-sustaining food source. Man, I love to see that, and I know the bass do too. I'm even starting to see some of the little guys down there chasing them around. And speaking of food source, there's baby tilapia cruising the banks all around the pond. Here's a really good look at some of them. You can see them feeding there along the pond bottom, probably eating some algae. So these tilapia are the perfect size, and when the bass start feeding on these, it gives those 3-inch bluegill a break and allows them to get bigger and become adults and reproduce more. So these tilapia play a big role throughout the fall and winter each year. Alright, got a fish delivery coming here shortly. So before they get here, I want to sink some treetops, because if there's one thing I've learned this year, it's more important to keep those adult threadfin shad alive, because every shad that survives could produce 2 or 3 or 5,000 more shad. So by sinking some of these treetops, it's going to give them a place to hide out long enough so they can spawn. And this time of year, the shad prefer the deep water because it's nice and cool. So we're going to sink some tops out here in this deep stuff. Just lay you a brick out with a piece of wire in between it, stack your trees on top, then tie it up. Alright, we got a little storm about to roll in, but there's a really good point of reference. You can see that these tops are longer than the boat that I'm using to put them out. And so all the fish are going to benefit from having these. Alright, we're going to go ahead and dump these off right here around one of the diffusers. And that block doing its job and getting everything sunk. And today, rather than doing multiple small piles, I decided to go with some big chunks. And we got another one sunk. Right over here in the deep water by the drain pipe. Man, nothing looks more refreshing than this volcano pump when it's 95 degrees outside. Alright, now it's time to go check in on the fish in Cedar Falls, see how everybody's doing. One thing I love about these fish is they're very friendly. Johnny and June and the bluegills, wherever I'm hanging out around the pond, they'll come up to me and greet me. You can see